How programmers can influence the CPU to trigger less amounts of main RAM read. As you know, a main RAM read is one of the heaviest CPU operations that the CPU can do, and it's one of the most common ones. And to answer the first question, I have to tell you about one more mechanism uh, to answer that question. So let's say on the main RAM you have 1 to 8 bytes of singular piece of data. When the CPU gets to read this, it never reads a singular piece of data. It always reads it in a line of data. That's not a line, but anyway, you get the idea. These lines are called cache lines, and they are 64 bytes wide. These lines are the pieces of memory that gets retrieved from the main RAM and gets put on the cache lines. And by just knowing this, you will have a very good sense of what to do and what not to do. And one of the very first and simplest insights that you can get from this is just using more arrays. Because arrays are contiguous blocks of memory. And let's say you have an array of floats and each float is 4 bytes. And you want to read from this array and you want to process the items one by one. So you read this and the CPU gets 64 bytes of data instead of one by one. And 64 bytes of data in an array of floats means 16 elements, which are 4 bytes wide, and that would equal to 64 bytes. And this means if you keep your data local and contiguous blocks of memory, this will quadruple your data access in the case of array of floats. And if you use anything other than this, you would just tank this, you would just destroy this.